Hi, my name is Olivia and welcome to my channel. You've landed on the vlog section and today we're doing something a little bit different. I thought I would share with you my top 3 life lessons that my boyfriend has taught me over our 7-year relationship. This has not only impacted my acting career, but me as a human being. So if you are an aspiring actor, performer, or you're just looking to be a better human being, these life lessons have actually helped me expand and grow. So I thought, what better way to share it with all of you guys because I love you. And this way, yeah, we can evolve. And that's the whole purpose of life, right? It's a journey. Let's evolve and be the best we can be. Here we go. Seeing things as black and white. I don't know about you, but for me, there was always a right, wrong, a left, right. There was no in the middle gray area, like people are just supposed to bring gifts at parties. You're supposed to get a birthday card. You're supposed to ring the doorbell it was just like things are supposed to be a certain way. And when my boyfriend didn't do certain things in that timing or in that fashion that I'm used to, I went into shock. And it sounds so silly now, but I've really had to, I'm gonna use the word relax, but just show myself some grace and understand that it's okay that it's not that way. And if it's not that way, it doesn't mean your world is falling apart. It's forcing you to, again, evolve, to change, to be aware, and it's okay. And I personally thought, because I travel so much, that I'm exposed to, different cultures, different people, different environments. And when I'm traveling, I'm totally open to change and new experiences. But when it's coming into my world, here in Toronto, Canada, especially in my home, and things weren't going a certain way, I was freaking out. I was like, maybe it's not the right thing. Maybe it's not the right relationship. Maybe. And that's when the head starts going and you kind of have to bring it back to the body and realize, what are you really freaking out over? Because someone didn't ring the doorbell or didn't write you a birthday card, but if they're still here, doesn't that speak more volumes than how you expect that they should behave? I really had to take the shoulds out of my vocabulary. He should have done this. He should have said that. It should be this way. But who's saying this? Am I saying that it should be this way? And if it's not, that's where this whole black and white concept came in. It doesn't have to be this way. And are you okay with how it is? So ultimately, the lesson here is for me to just relax, let go of expectations. People behave in different ways. It's okay as long as I'm feeling loved, as long as you're feeling appreciated. I kind of took a step back and looked at the bigger picture, and that's kind of what's helped me move forward. And yeah, it's okay. The importance of words. Throughout our relationship, we've constantly had a bit of a clash when speaking, because I would just say whatever I'm feeling, and then I'll be like, yeah, but you know what I mean. And in the process, I could have hurt his feelings. I did hurt his feelings a bunch of times, but my logic was always like, well, he knows that I don't mean any harm and I would not intentionally hurt him. So what's the problem? Why I think it's important to really think about what you're gonna say before you say it. There's obviously so many layers to words, but I think in the long run, he's creating that awareness in me, especially if I want to reach a wider audience. I can't just be assuming you guys know what I'm gonna say or what I mean. And the old Olivia would be like, well, you're gonna be walking on eggshells, kind of like monitoring everything you're saying. But in reality, that like extra filter has saved me from some embarrassing public interviews. So it's actually helped me out and I think it's shaping me into the person I'm supposed to be. So instead of me just like verbal diarrhea here, I just, I have my intention of what I want to say, and I want to say that in a gentle way so you guys understand me and don't misinterpret what I'm going to say. I hope that's coming across. Is that coming across? Is this kind of making sense? So in a nutshell, it's all about having intention, power, and meaning behind your words and not just speaking for the sake of speaking. Sometimes silence is even a stronger response, and that's okay. It's also interesting to note that when my boyfriend says something, I really truly know he means it. Whereas I guess possibly before, when I kept saying certain things, he didn't know if I was just saying it because it's another thing to say or if I really meant it. This is obviously an assumption. I didn't ask him that. But yeah, moving forward, I want to continue to be intentional, continue to speak with grace and kindness, and just have an open heart and just be a little more aware. So instead of being in this Olivia bubble where this is what I say and everyone's kind of going to understand, now I'm just being more, I don't know if inclusive is the right word, or more, I'm just going to go back to awareness. And that's key for all actors and performers and anyone that wants to be in the public eye. And if you don't, just to be a regular, amazing human being. So there's obviously a lot more layers to each of the lessons that I'm going to go through, and this is obviously my personal experience, so I'm just sharing what I'm taking from it. And if it resonates with you, take it on as well, and if not, go on to the next tip. This last tip goes kind of with my last tip a little bit, is just being respectful of your partner's decisions. So throughout our relationship, I would let him decide, obviously, but if I wasn't happy with his response, I would kind of turn into, you should choose the other one, because I wanted it to be my way or the highway. And I'm being brutally honest here. Obviously, I've changed, I've evolved, I have the awareness to be able to speak about it. For a long time, I was focused in a linear way. Again, with it being black and white, it should be this way, people should understand me, my partner should behave in A, B, C manner. And he really taught me to be respectful in the sense that he has the right to make a decision, and I have to be okay with what he decides. So I'm going to say that again. So he has the right to make his own decisions, and I have to be okay with what he decides. So I always ask, I want to include open dialogue and conversation in our relationship, but I also have to be okay with not liking the answers. When you don't like the answer, it was almost like I was trying to manipulate the situation to go in my favor, to be my way, and that is not how he sees a relationship. And I didn't even know I was doing it, because I just, I would assume this way in other relationships. No one's ever mentioned it before. And when I mentioned that to my boyfriend, he's just like, yeah, well, no one had the guts to say it to you, or they just did what you wanted. So this relationship has had a lot of ups and downs, like any relationship. If you can resonate with this, whether it's a mother-father relationship, boyfriend-girlfriend, whatever relationship, sibling to sibling, these are life lessons to just take in, and these have honestly just changed my whole perspective and has brought my other relationships closer, because I have a little bit more patience. So between my boyfriend physically telling me what's going on here and then me journaling on it, I'm able to see what's going on. And of course, it's a process. Sometimes I revert back, but for the most part, I am really proud of myself for how far I've come, for the awareness that's coming from all this, because I don't want to be a careless individual. I want to be open. I want to be supportive and kind, and I want it to reflect through my acting, through my work, through the screen like this. So yeah, those were my 3 life lessons. I have a self-care series with my friend Meg. I will link the playlist if you want to kind of dig deep into the inner work and just, you know, evolve, grow. And I also mentioned a bunch of tips for actors in my new actors workbook, which is essentially an ebook at oliviagmedia.com. There's part 1 and part 2, where I dive deep into mindset for actors. So if this is kind of the vibe you're loving, there's a lot more for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next Tuesday.